Russia sends hypersonic fighter jets to prevent British carrier from sailing on Mediterranean coast. The Russian Air Force has deployed 2 MiG-31K interceptors to its main airbase in Syria. One of the MiGs appeared in an official video taking off at Khmeimim airbase, on the Mediterranean coast south of Latakia, carrying a huge Kinzhal hypersonic missile under its belly. The Royal Navy's new aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth and her battle group are in the Mediterranean. The carrier's F-35 stealth fighters struck militants in Iraq last week. A few days later, the British destroyer HMS Defender detached from Queen Elizabeth's battle group, sailed from the Med into the Black Sea and skirted the Russian-occupied Crimean Peninsula, eliciting a forceful Russian response that included a brazen disinformation campaign. Meanwhile, NATO this month is wrapping up a sprawling, weeks-long exercise. Defender 21 gave NATO troops a chance to rehearse a large-scale reinforcement of the alliance's southern flank, mostly by way of slow, vulnerable cargo ships. The MiG-31s with their hypersonic missiles represent a potentially powerful anti-ship striking force. And they're not alone. The Russian Air Force last month sent to Khmeimim 3 Tu-22M bombers armed with Kh-22 anti-ship cruise missiles. Together, the MiG-31s and Tu-22s could threaten NATO vessels in the Med. That said, it's possible the MiG-31s are in Syria primarily to work out potential kinks in the Kinzhal's design and procedures. With its Mach 10 top speed and 1,200-mile range, the hypersonic ballistic missile is a fearsome weapon, on paper. But the Kremlin rushed the missile into service with 2 regiments of MiG-31 starting around 2018. The interceptors in Syria could be part of Kinzhal's ongoing operational testing. They've used Syria to test a lot of their weapons, partially because it has different weather and temperatures than Russia, said Rob Lee, an analyst and doctoral student in the War Studies Department at King's College London. That said, the MiGs might also signal an enduring presence of hypersonic-capable warplanes at Khmeimim. It might be easier to keep a few MiG-31Ks at Khmeimim permanently than, say, Tu-22M3s, which would still give them a greater anti-ship capability from Syria. In a strong indication that there's an operational aspect to the MiG deployment, the Russian Air Force also has sent Il-38 patrol planes to Syria. Bigger and farther-flying T-142 patrol planes reportedly are Syria-bound, as well. The patrol planes, perhaps working in conjunction with drones, could represent the targeting part of a maritime strike complex. The Il-38s, Tu-142s and drone spot ships. The MiG-31s and Tu-22Ms lob missiles at them. The Russians' Mediterranean anti-ship strike force is coming together at the same time NATO concentrates more ships in the region. It's unclear what might happen next, but the Russians' harassment of Defender as she sailed near Crimea is an ominous sign. I think it is now more likely they'll be willing to be more aggressive with the Queen Elizabeth, and possibly simulate carrier strikes given the incident in Crimea, Lee said.